Welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to talk about polyp extension and how to get the best polyp extension out of your corals, especially acroporas. This rainbow loom here, the polyp extension is always really good. This video is going to be broken down into two parts. At the moment we're showing the 9 o'clock, so the lights have just gone off and I've just turned the lights back on so you can see the polyps at night. And then the next half of the video is going to be during the day, and you can see the difference between the polyps at night and day. Some corals there's no difference, and other corals it's quite a lot. So in this coral here, this is the nighttime shot, and this one is the day. You can see there's not really much different. It's probably actually better at the day. And this is another night one, but this coral, the polyps don't change, they're always out like this. You can see the tenuous are doing really well. Look at how big, fluffy those polyps are. In these weekly videos, I'm showing you exactly what I'm doing. So you can see my flow, you can see my filtration and my lights. You know, I don't hide anything. So you can see exactly what I'm doing to get this polyp extension. I show you even the foods that I'm feeding the corals. So if I can ask you to support me by subscribing to the channel, because that helps and makes a big difference. Stay until the end because we've even got something different. We've got a coral up for sale that's starting at £1. Unfortunately, it's only for the UK viewers, but you'll see that at the end. You can see here that I cleaned the back glass and it's black, so you can see the contrast between the colourful corals and the black. It just makes the corals pop and stand out even more. Okay, let's talk about polyp extension and how to get the best polyp extension out of your corals. I think number one is flow, and not just a good flow. It has to be random. It has to be sort of bouncing around the corals and going underneath to keep the coral healthy. Number two is nutrients. You have to have some sort of food in the water. So my phosphates and nitrates are quite high, you've seen from the last video. And I also feed the fish very well. I feed them Celcon, and that sort of, if you like, chums up the water a little bit. There's some sort of food in the water, and the corals sense that. They know that's there, and they're constantly sort of in the feeding mode. And I think that helps the growing, because obviously the polyps are extended. They're not catching as in food, but it's a liquid, so it can sort of go through the skin. It can go into the coral a lot better than if you're sort of feeding sort of solid food to corals. You can see these tenuous, the polyps on here, like are in sort of feeding mode. They're out, they're fluffy, they're moving around in the water. They look really good. This is the pink Cadillac. You can see there's quite a new growth on there, and that's doing really well at the moment. It's quite in a prime location right up the top. So it's getting lots of flow, lots of light. And there's a nice new tenuous here. Well, not new, but there's a lot of new growth on it. And it's more bluer than the other tenuous. And then we've got the strawberry shortcake. Okay, number three must be stable parameters. And you can see from my previous video what my parameters sit at. And they're pretty consistent at that, I'd say. They don't move around a lot. And dosing traces, I do dose trace elements in my 2-part, and also supplement it a little bit with some extra 2-part dosing. Number four is healthy corals, and I've said this a lot, but pests do really affect the polyp extension on the corals. So if you've got absolutely no polyp extension, you could have some sort of pest, and you do keep the coral doesn't have to die necessarily. The pests can live on the corals. They're just eating the tissue and the skin, and they do affect, you know, the first thing that goes is sort of the colour and the polyp extension. And I still dip my corals every now and again, just randomly take out a couple, or the frags, I'll just put them in a dip solution just for a little bit and see what comes off them. And I think that's coming part of the hobby now, especially if you're keeping acroporas. I think, especially if you're still buying corals as well, I think there's so many pests out there now that you're just continuously having to dip and look after your corals. This rainbow Montipora here in the middle, this is the one that's up for sale. This is going to be £1 on auction on eBay, I'll put the details up a bit later on. You can see the frags are looking really good. They're encrusting onto the plugs now. The polyps are out, they're coloured up. They're doing really well, considering I only fragged these probably just over a week ago. There's a PC rainbow, and there's a golden jaw dropper behind it. And yeah, they're looking really good. Here's a little frag of the pink lemonade. Okay, that's the top bit that I took off. And a strawberry shortcake. And another strawberry shortcake. Golden jaw dropper. And a frog skin. And a rainbow loom on the end. Okay, this video is now on the days. So this is probably about 11 o'clock in the morning now. And you can see the polyps. They're still pretty good. They're not bad. You can tell that it's sort of daytime now because the fish are up and they're swimming around. They're a lot more active in the water. The mandarin goby's just having a little pick around the rocks. He's having a look if there's any pods on the rock. That's all he does all day long. Just goes in between the corals, just trying to find some bits and pieces of food. This little nub on the rock's growing quite nicely now. That's going to grow really quickly. And the copper band is always looking good. So the copper band's in here is probably a bit over 5 years now. Yeah, doing really well. And you can see the polyps in the day on the Pikachu. This is what it looks like. And the polyps on the strawberry shortcake. These are always like this. And this is what a healthy coral should look like. I mean, that was the day shot and this is the night shot. They're just constantly out. They're constantly feeding. Yeah, that thing's doing really well. And I fragged it loads of times as well. This is back to the night shot. So we're at 9 o'clock at night again. This is a full shot. So all the fish are away. They're all hiding. And you can just see the corals, how good they look, how colourful they look. Okay, this Montipora here, this is the one that is on eBay. So this is the one up for sale. His starting bids are £1. Okay, UK bidders only, I'm afraid. But yeah, I'll post it free of charge as well. So you won't have to pay any postage. This is a better shot of the rainbow loom. You can see the polyps just dance in there. And back to the frags. Even the frags, you know, the polyps are out, they're healthy, they're growing, they're looking good. And the golden jaw dropper, that's my prize coral. That's absolutely awesome bit of kit. And that's it for this video. If you've liked it, please like and subscribe. And it does go a long way to helping me make these videos. And don't forget to bid on my coral on eBay for the rainbow Montipora starting at £1. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one.